So you have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is someone who thinks all that matters is calories in and calories out. It doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you're under your maintenance calories, you'll lose weight. That's all that matters. And then you get Adonis. Adonis is someone who understands the importance of a balanced diet. He understands the fact that what you eat impacts your life, how you feel, your energy levels. You are what you eat, Adonis says. So when I was younger, I used to think that all that mattered was calories in and calories out, that it didn't matter what you put in your mouth. All that matters is that you are under your maintenance calories. You make sure your macros fit, that you get enough protein, enough fats, enough carbohydrates, and then you're fine. You'll lose weight. And that's technically right. You'll lose weight. But there's a bigger issue at hand, and that's what it goes on inside your body. Fair enough, right? If you eat McDonald's every day, you fit it in, you make sure that you have the macro availability in terms of your calories, and you eat it, you lose weight. But what actually happens to you is far worse than you being overweight. The thing about calories in and calories out and the kind of food you eat, it impacts your life over the long term. What do I mean by that? I'll give you a very specific example of fast food. Most fast food, let's take a common factor of chips, French fries. They're all fried in some sort of seed oil, right? So now what you find is that these products are fried in oil and you eat them. The problems that come about are two things. One, you're eating simple carbs, and two, you're having a lot of fats. Now, what's bad about the carbohydrate content? We need carbs to survive. We do need carbs. But the kind of carbs you're eating are not good for muscle building. What they are they are quick releasing high GI foods. So what that means is basically the amount of glucose that they release over a given period of time, they're fast releasing. So they release a lot of glucose very quickly. The problem comes in where when you have a lot of sugar all the time, you'll eventually develop problems. You may develop something called metabolic syndrome, and as a consequence of metabolic syndrome, you'll develop diabetes, high blood pressure, and all sorts of problems. So the idea that all that matters is calories in and calories out is a lie. But you know this. Deep down, you know this. You know that you're not supposed to eat fried stuff. When you think about McDonald's, when someone says, "Oh yeah, I have a way for you to eat healthy," to meet your macros and when you see these guides where they're like, "Oh yeah, follow this diet and you can have your favorite foods." Your favorite foods are shit. They're like fried stuff. They're things that aren't healthy for you, and that's why you watch the video. You try to get this hack, this special way. You know what you need to eat, and you know what you shouldn't eat. You shouldn't eat fried stuff. You should eat whole foods with fiber and complex carbohydrates, lean beef, lean protein, and then fats, moderate fats that are healthy. The thing is, you get different kinds of fats. You get saturated fats, trans fats, and a lot of these labelings are a lie in the sense where they'll say, "Oh no, these are there has zero trans fats in sunflower oil." And it's true for the serving they give you, but the serving they give you is like a teaspoon. It's like you don't have a teaspoon. Do you know how much oil you probably ingest when you have chips? Chips are literally deep fried in oil. What do you think happens? How much of that oil do you think you actually eat? So the idea that all that matters is calories in and calories out is a lie. And I'm also going to dispel another lie of the low-fat diet. The low-fat, this fucking thing. Basically, a lot of products have these low-fat or no-fat labelings on them, like yogurt and all sorts of stuff. Yogurt is one of them. You get like not toppings, like dips, and then juices. You get juices that are 0 calories. They are super sweet, but they're 0 calories, 0 sugar, and they're basically nothing. They're empty carbs, but they taste amazing somehow. The thing about fat is that in order to have anything taste nice, any food taste nice, you have to have fat. Now, the thing is, the types of fats you get from foods that occur naturally are not bad for you inherently. What do I mean by that? Obviously, you can always overdo it. So if we're talking about everything I'm talking about is in moderation, right? So if you have like if you cook a steak and there's fat on it and you eat that fat, or you render the steak with that fat, meaning you put the steak on the pan and there's like a side with fat, you cook it out and there's like oil there and you cook the steak in that oil, it's fine. That's fine. The problem comes about, and butter is fine. Butter and animal fat is perfectly fine in moderation. The problem is corporations use seed oil, like McDonald's and all that stuff. They use different kinds of seed. Some people use sunflower oil, some people use soybean oil, then peanut oil. Those are all terrible for you. They are literally terrible for you. They have a lot of saturated and trans fats, which are very bad for you. The thing is, your body cannot actually process trans fats, and so they just remain in your body. You have literally fat deposits in your body that can never go away because you've eaten those stuff. So coming back to the whole fat-free thing, in order for something to taste nice, there has to be fat. Fat has to be present because it contains like flavor. It's juicy. Lean beef doesn't taste very good because there's less fat. So when you see these like fat-free yogurts or low-fat yogurts, low-fat milk, or fat-free milk, look at the sugar content. A lot of these products, some of them are better than others, but a lot of these products have added sugar to make up for the missing fat. And so what happens is, in a modern diet, what you'll find is that people will end up doing this where they have a low-fat diet. So a lot of the products are low-fat, 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 low-fat. And they'll have a diet that consists of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Carbohydrates, fats, and protein. They'll have a low-fat diet, which is actually just sugar, and they'll have simple carbohydrates, which is sugar. Simple carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, and glucose is a form of sugar. Granted, glucose is better than sucrose and fructose, even though sucrose is actually just fructose and glucose. But anyway, besides the point. So what you end up happening is people have a carbohydrate diet where they have that forms sugar. They then have a low-fat diet, and things that are low-fat contain sugar. So you're essentially having a double sugar diet, you're having twice as much sugar as you should, and you're just having some protein. That's a terrible diet. You will develop metabolic syndrome, and you'll have a lot of health complications. So the reason why I'm telling you all of this is to make sure that you're aware of the importance of this. A lot of these fitness YouTubers and a lot of these influencers are lying to you, where they're like, no, you can eat whatever you want as long as it fits your macros. They're literally lying. If you follow that, you'll follow them, and you'll more than likely end up like them. You'll see in the coming years, a lot of these people will die, or they'll develop very, very bad health diseases. Because think about it. If someone was to tell you, oh yeah, I eat McDonald's every day, you'd be like, that sounds cool. That sounds amazing. But you'd be like, that's probably not healthy. You know it deep down. And so the thing is, you got to pick who you follow into battle. If you think these guys are going to lead you there, when you know what they say, there's something in you that's like, this isn't right. But when someone tells you, oh no, you eat vegetables, you eat healthy carbs, and you eat lean protein, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds right, because you don't want to do it. Generally speaking, whatever people say, you go against it. If people are like, yeah, you can eat whatever you want and it fits your macros, it's probably not right. If you want to be the average person, the normal person who follows normal advice, yeah, follow that if you want. But if you want to be exceptional, if you want to actually make real progress, you want to change your life, you want to be that healthy person, you want to be that healthy father, healthy mother who can play with their son and daughter, not ridden on a bed because you have health issues. The decision is yours at the end of the day. Choose wisely. In the description below, there's a link. You can click on it if you want additional help. But that's only for serious people, so don't click the link if you're not serious.